Direct variation. Well, let me tell you what. Direct variation's just another fancy name for slope or rate of change. It's a linear relationship between two variables that can be written in the form y equals kx or k equals yx. So those are very important formulas to remember for this lesson. Or k equals y over x. If you remember from yesterday, y over x is what you use to find the slope of something, right? So the k is for constant. Don't ask me why it's a k and not a c. So what we're doing now is we are going to tell whether each equation represents a direct variation, and if so, we're going to identify the constant of the variation. So we first have to solve the equation for y. So we're going to look at the side of the equation with the variable and look at the constant and do the opposite of both to both sides. So if we have adding 8, we're going to subtract 8 from both sides. So we're going to subtract 8 from both sides, which cancels these out and leaves us with x minus 8. Now we cannot do anything with those because of the fact that they're not like terms. One has an x and one does not have a variable. So the equation is not in the form of y equals kx because we have this negative 8 hanging out at the end. So y plus 8 equals x isn't a direct variation. Okay? So because there's something hanging off on the end, now if it was y equals 8x with nothing here at the end, there was zilch there, nothing, okay? Then it would be direct variation because we have our y with our y, we have a number with our k, and we have our x with our x. So let's look at this next one and see if maybe this is direct variation. We're going to solve the equation for y just like we did above. Okay, now we have a coefficient and a variable. That means multiplication. So we're going to divide both sides by the coefficient, which is 3. So these 3's cancel, and we are left with just y. And then we have 2 over 3x. Now if you look at this, we have a y with a y. We have a number with the k. It doesn't matter if it's a fraction, decimal, or whole number. And we have an x with the x. So the equation is in the form y equals kx. So the original equation, 3y equals 2x, is a direct variation. So the constant is 2/3. The constant is the k. So the k is the constant. So whatever number falls underneath the k is what your constant is. Now we're going to look at direct variation in a table. Okay, so there we go. In the table, we are going to tell whether each set represents direct variation. So looking at that table, your x is on top. Well, not going to help if I'm using the eraser. It goes x and y. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take all 3 of these and all 3 of these to create our fractions of y over x. So this, and this are all going to go into fractions. So the first one, we have 2 over 69. Our second one, we have 3 over 99, which we can divide each one of those by 3 and get 1 over 33. And then we have 4 over 129. So k, each one of these is our k, each of these fractions. And they're not the same. So k isn't the same for each ordered pair, so the data is not a direct variation. Now let's look at another one real quick. and we're going to have our x, and we're going to have our y, and we're going to have 1 over 3, 3 over 9, and 4 over 12. Okay, we're going to set those up as our y over our x. So we're going to have 3 over 1, which equals just 3. We're going to have 9 over 3, which equals just 3. And we're going to have 12 over 4, which equals just 3. Because all of these divide out to the same number, that is direct variation. Tell whether the graph represents a direct variation. If so, identify the constant of variation and then write a direct variation equation. In order to be direct variation, it has to be through 0, 0, and it has to be a straight line. Okay, it has to meet those two standards to be a direct variation graph. So it does go through 0, 0, and it is a straight line. So the graph is a line through 0, 0. So this is a direct variation equation. The slope of the line is, well, now we have to figure out the slope of the line. So we have to think back to y over x. Okay? And what you have to do is we'll go with the origin and then someplace else where it goes through the boxes perfectly. Like right here. It goes through those little boxes perfectly. But here, it doesn't go through the boxes perfectly, does it? So, we're going to draw our triangle. And we had to go up one space. And then we had to go 2 spaces. And if we were to put our bike here, we would be going downhill, so it is a -1/2. So the slope of the line is -1/2. The slope is the same thing as the constant, so k is -1/2. So the equation is, all you do is you put the -1/2 in for your k, y equals kx. We know that k is -1/2, and we bring the x down by it. Okay, a truck travels at a speed of 55 miles per hour. Write a direct variation equation for the distance y the truck travels in x hours. Use the formula d equals r times t, where d is distance, r is rate, and t is time. The rate is 55 miles per hour. So, we know what the rate is, we don't know what the distance or time is. So, we can put d equals 55t. Or we can write that as y equals kx, where our y and our d are the same. Our k is our rate, so that's 55, and our x. Okay? And then we're going to graph the data, but in order to do that, we need to make a table. Time cannot be negative, so we are going to be using positive numbers, including 0, for x. So they tell us that x equals 0, x equals 3, and x equals 6. So that's what we're going to fill in for our equation. We're going to say y equals 55 times 0, y equals 55 times 3, and y equals 55 times 6. Because we're evaluating, we're substituting, and then we're going to work this out. 55 times 0 is 0. 55 times 3 is 165. And 55 times 6 is 330. Now when you write your xy pair, these numbers are going to come first, followed by these numbers. So when x is 0, y is 0. When x is 3, y is 165. And when x is 6, y is 330. And then we're going to use the ordered pairs to plot the points on a coordinate line. or coordinate plane, sorry. And then we're going to connect the points in a straight line and label the axes. So we're going to have over here the time, and we're going to have the distance. I'm just going to put a DIST there. And then we're going to have a 0 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, because that's our time is our x right there. And our distance, we're going to have to do by different. Let's go 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, 240, 280, 320, and 360. Okay? So we had our 0, 0 for the first one. 3, 165. So 3 is our x, so we go over to 3 and then up to about 165, somewhere in there. But then we have x is 6, y is 330. So we go over to 6 and then up to 330, and we connect with a straight line. How long does it take the truck to travel 660 miles? Find the value of x when y equals 660 miles, because our y is our distance. Okay, so we have y equals 55x, and now instead of substituting for x, we know that y equals 660. So we're going to put that in for y. And then, because our variable is on the right side, that's all right. We're just looking at the right instead of the left. We have a coefficient and a variable, which means multiplication. The opposite of multiply is to divide, so we're going to divide by the coefficient, both sides. And when we divide, we get 12. So it will take the truck 12 hours to travel 660 miles. That was a very large problem. I would not expect you in 7th grade to be able to complete that problem completely on your own, but I do expect you to have notes for it, so that if you had a problem like that, you would at least have something to look at to kind of guide you in the right direction before you came to me with a blank piece of paper. You have 2 check it out problems. One is telling whether an equation represents direct variation and what the constant is if it does. And the next is whether the table represents direct variation and what the constant is if it does. And then you are also writing the direct variation equation if it does have a constant. That was a much longer video. There's just some times where you can't help it.